Flatwound sound. Yeah, that's alright. Well, okay. I'm going for that Flatwound sound. Oh, that's alright. Well, okay. I'm going for that old school Flatwound sound.
Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm changing the strings on my Danelectro for flat-wound strings. Flat-wound strings are usually associated with jazz and jazz sounds or warmer sound. But what a lot of people don't know is that the Beatles and a lot of the guys from the 50s and 60s used flat-wound strings because that was what was available. So I want to check how does a bright guitar like my Danelectro sounds like with flat-wound strings. First of all, let me thank my dear patrons for supporting the show. If you also want to become a patron, just go to the link and follow the steps. It's super easy and I thank you in advance. You can also support the channel by contributing to the tip jar on PayPal. And if you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook and we'll deal with it from there. Also, please visit my reverb.com store where I have a lot of the gear that I review here in the episodes, but I can't afford to keep. Let's go! Okay, so I'm changing for this flat-wound strings. They are the Dario XL ECG23. So let me show you in the picture. They were offered to me by one of my students, a dear student and a dear patron too. He uses this and he suggested that I could change my strings. So he gave me this string set with an extra wounded G string, unwounded I mean, a plain G string. So I'll get, because flat wound string set comes with the G wounded, and that's kind of strange for the bending. So he always uses this and it replaces the G for a plain G string. So thanks a lot to Rui Grilo for getting me this set and for inspiring me on doing this episode. So what I'll do, this is not meant to be like a perfect scientific comparison. What I'll do is I'll play a little so you can hear this guitar. And this is my Danelectro. I bought it for Dona Carioca, my band, my funk band that no longer exists. Because we used everything in orange in that band, guitars and cable. My cabling, the logo was orange, so we were looking for it. And I love the Danelectro guitars. I have one of this in black that I always have tuned down to open C. But this guitar sounds really great. It's a low output guitar, but it sounds really great. It's kind of a tele, but in a specific way. And I used the Lindy Fralin Magic cap on the tone knobs. What it does, it tames the highs a little bit. So I'm using my retrocoil cable, lava retrocoil cable, which also tames a little of the highs and gives it a little boost on the low mids, so it makes it interesting. I'm using my Supro amp for this episode, my Tremo Verb, one of my favorite amps of all time. And I'm using it with my studio pedal board that you know from all the episodes. Here's the clean tone with nothing, no pedals on, no effect on the amp. Neck pickup. Both pickups. With the bridge pickup, I have the tone all the way off because I have the magic cap from Lindy Fralin. Hear it? Without the bright cap, so with the tone all the way on. So what he does, it doesn't cut a lot of highs, it just cuts a little of the highs and gives it like a little mid-range thickness. So it makes it sound thicker and not duller. So hear it again. So full on, tone full on, cutting off. Just a little difference. It makes a huge difference. But let me play you some of the pedals. So we're using, for example, the Delay Llama by Jam Pedals with a little drive by J Rocket Melody. A little push with Walrus Audio Deep Six compressor. Reverb by Surfy Bear, reverb by Surfy Industries, and a little tremolo by Surfy Trem. A little less reverb. So as you can hear, it's a bright guitar, jangly guitar, twangy guitar. Let's hear the neck pickup. Here with the best fuzz in the world, the Copenhagen Bender by Russ Effects. Man, There's something really special about this guitar. I really love it. I really love the way it sounds. I love the way it feels. It's kind of a wimpy sounding, so it never sounds good just straight to the amp because it doesn't have any output. But you can really solve it easily by using gain pedals, like I was using the Copenhagen Bender, or using a compressor, like I'm using the Deep 6, to just give it a little more, or a booster, like the EP Boost or the Microamp by MXR. Okay, let's change the strings and see what happens. Wish me luck.
I'm getting flatwound strings on my guitar to get that old school fat sound. My orange Danelectro will be set nice and pretty for that old school Flatwound sound. Yeah, that's alright. Well, okay, I'm going for that Flatwound sound. Oh, that's alright. Well, okay, I'm going for that old school Flatwound sound.
Okay, so brand new strings. It's natural that they go out of tune, but I tell you, I immediately feel an incredible difference, and I'm loving the guitar. So thanks a lot, Rui, for leading me into this, because it's really a cool effect. First of all, I noticed way more sound. So now I don't have any pedal on, and it sounds bigger and fuller, which makes me really happy, and warmer too. Now it's getting out of tune. Okay, let's try to do the same lick on the intro. Yeah, way different, way different. Let's hear how it handles drive. Let's kick on my Copenhagen first. Copenhagen Bender. So here I was using the Silver Machine by Jupiter Effects, Octave Fuzz, and then turned on the Retro Vibe by Jam Pedals, and later on the Julian Yeah, Lillian by Walrus Audio. So the phaser, I love it. I immediately feel way more resistance from the guitar strings because they feel thicker. Let me check the gauge, but I think, yeah, they are thicker. They are 48 instead of 46, the low E, but it's basically a normal 10, which was what I had here. But it makes me play in a really cool way, and I love the feeling. It's kind of way more attacky. They have way more transients, so they feel way more percussive and vintage sounding. I love it. The middle position almost sounds like a middle strat pickup. And it sounds, usually we associate this with jazz, but it sounds way rocky if we want it. It sounds very rock and roll. Let's turn on the GT500 by Full Tone. I don't miss a rock and roll thing. Let me play the jazzy chords. Now with the reverb and compressor. And let me turn off the tone pot. Let me use the reverb on the amp. Well, that's it. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about the flatbound strings? Do you like the flatbound strings? Are you thinking about changing it on one of your tellies or strats? I find it really interesting that just the changing of the strings can have such a huge impact on tone. Let me know in the comments, and of course, if you want to become a patron and support the show, you can go to the link, or you can contribute to the tip jar on PayPal. Super simple. If you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook. And don't forget to please visit my reverb.com store, where I have a lot of gear that I review here in the show, but I can't afford to keep. Hope you liked the episode, and we'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.